Hello and welcome. Today we are going to talk about user-defined bridge in the Docker host. So let's start. As you know that we do not need to create default bridge. It is always there, and whenever you will create new container, you can, your container will automatically use this default bridge. But Docker is also giving us this flexibility to create user-defined bridge. So let's understand user-defined bridge theoretically first, then we will go for the practical. User-defined bridge networks are superior to the default one. So here we are getting some advantage. It is superior than the default one. Now how? Let's understand this. Use user-defined bridge for DNS resolution between the container. So by default, when you are using default bridge, if you want to ping or if you want to enable communication with the container, we are always using IP address. But as you know that IP address is not easy to remember, we are always using name for our normal communication. So if you are using your own bridge, it is also allowing us to communicate with containers using DNS name. So it is very easy to access containers if you are using user-defined bridge. User-defined bridge provide better isolation. Container can attach and detach from user-defined network on the fly. So if you have any container connected with any user-defined bridge, and if you want to disconnect this, you do not need to stop container. So you can change bridge of running containers. Each user-defined network creates configurable bridge. Linked container on the default bridge share the environment variable. So basically this is like an advanced option. We will discuss about this. But right now what we can say that we can create our own user-defined bridge, and yes, we can also set up environment variable. Okay, how? Definitely we will discuss about it. Now here we have lab commands. So to create user-defined bridge, we have to use the command and we have to define default IP. We have two options. First, we want to create our bridge using default IP range. Here it is a very simple command, docker network create d bridge and bridge name. So let's use this. Right now let's clear this screen and we are giving command docker network ls. If you look at this, here we have only one bridge. Okay, we are creating our own. So I'm giving command docker network create -d. And if you are not specifying any IP address range, okay, it will use default IP address range. So let's say that bridge, and you have to specify bridge name. Let's say that UD1. I'm giving this name like user defined one. So I just created this particular bridge. Now if I want to see this, I can give command docker network ls, and now look at this. Here we have UD1. Now how I can verify IP address range? So I can give command docker inspect UD1. Okay, and see here I am getting IP address range, and this IP address range is actually automatically defined by Docker host itself. Now whenever I will create any container, and if I am going to connect this container with this particular bridge network UD1, my container will get IP address from this particular series. But I want to define my own IP address range. How I can do this? You can also specify your IP address range during your bridge creation. So here we have user defined IP address range, docker network create, then there's this driver bridge or D bridge, it is like the same. Then we have subnet, which subnet you want to use, and then we can use network name. So what is the main difference over here? We already used this command. Okay, here what we will do, we will say that there's subnet. Okay, we will define IP address range. Let's say that I want to use 192.168.100.0 series /24, and then we are giving name UD2. Yes, created. Now Docker network ls. If you look at this, here we got this UD2 as well, and here in the UD2 we have our user defined series. So if I am giving command docker inspect UD2, look at this, here I got IP address range of my own. Now whenever I will create any container, and if I will connect this container with this particular network, I will get this series of IP. Definitely we are going to create container and we are going to verify this as well, so you will get better understanding. Okay, so right now it is done. We have created our own bridge network. Now to disconnect the container from the bridge, we can use the command docker network disconnect bridge name and container name. Okay, if you look at this, in the previous class we already created 2 container for the default bridge, right? So if I'm giving command docker.
Sorry guys, sorry to disturb you. I know you all are enjoying the session and suddenly it stopped. But if you want full video or if you want full Docker course having 130 plus videos including projects, you can become our community member. Enrollment link is in description. Moreover, we also provide 24/7 support, weekly lifetime live session with Bhavesh Atara, updates and completion certification as well. Still you have any queries regarding it, you can contact me on my personal number. Thank you.